Chapter 8, New Shoes. There were many visits to doctors during my first year in my new home. Besides not being able to walk, the doctor said I was too thin and pale. Except for right after I was born, I had never been to see a doctor before. There were no medical records for me from Russia. At the Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia, the doctors examined my legs, which had become bent and stiff. They explained that I would never be able to walk, but thought I might be more comfortable if my legs were straightened and I was able to bend them. I can only assume I was an unusual patient, because after several visits and many tests and x-rays, I was brought into an auditorium by my doctor and presented to a large group of doctors and students. I was placed on the examining table, facing my audience. I wasn't used to so much attention. Clearing his voice, he proceeded to talk about me. The patient suffers from acute muscular atrophy caused by spina bifida. The patient has had no physical therapy at all in the last 6 years, and it is questionable if the patient has had any major medical treatment at all in that time. The patient this, the patient that. He continued lecturing. My mom stood beside me, getting annoyed as he talked about me like I was a lab rat. But I sat there smiling and basking in the limelight. So it is my opinion, he concluded, that we should operate on the patient and that the operation could possibly improve the patient's condition. Does that meet with your approval, Miss McFadden? The doctor asked, turning his head to look at my mom. Tatyana, would you like to have an operation to straighten your legs? Mom asked me politely. It will hurt for a while, but it is better for you. I looked around the room. Everyone was staring at me. Well, I thought, scratching my chin, will I be able to wear shoes? Yes, young lady, if you wish, the doctor replied. If you get this operation, I will buy you a pair of shoes, Mom promised. I had never worn shoes. It was too difficult to get shoes on my feet because my ankles didn't bend the way most kids' feet do. Can I have pink shoes? My mom smiled. Anything you like. I hesitated a moment. My audience was silent, on the edge of their seats, waiting for my reply. Well, then, yes, I think I would like to have the operation, I said in my best English. There were chuckles from the audience. The doctor looked at me with a slightly perplexed look on his face and then smiled. I remember little about the operation, except that when I woke up, I was in a cast that went from my waist to my toes. After 6 weeks, the cast came off and my legs dangled in front of me like other kids. I'm long, I announced, and my mom laughed. I couldn't walk upside down anymore, now that my legs were no longer bent tightly beneath me. But having straight legs made it easier to sit up straight and lie down and wear my new pink shoes. Beside my shiny pink patent leather shoes, which I only wore on special occasions, I also had a pair of white sneakers that I wore when I put on my new metal leg braces. The braces ran from the bottom of my feet and up beside my legs, hips, and torso, held in place by thick padded belts, strapped tight against my body. With my new leg braces on, I started physical therapy every day to help learn how to walk in them. Using a metal frame that I placed in front of me to steady myself, I would lean forward and drag myself slightly, then push out the frame again and drag myself forward. The braces didn't bend much. If I wanted to sit down, I'd have to loosen the hinges on the braces at the knees and waist until I could bend them enough for me to fall back into a chair. It was fun seeing the world standing up tall like everyone else. I could reach light switches and open doors more easily than ever before. But my legs didn't get any stronger, and it was tiring pulling myself around. The biggest disappointment for me was that it was slow getting around in the braces. I missed the speed of the wheelchair, and it was difficult to keep up with my friends. Scooting, climbing, and using my wheelchair had worked pretty well for me before. So after a year of using the braces, I gave them up.